My name is Betty Kim. I'm a neurosurgeon scientist at the Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville, and I specialize in brain tumors and brain tumor surgeries. Our lab is focused on modulating the microenvironment of the brain, whether that be in the brain actually or in the tumor bed. And the way we do that is we re-engineer the tumor microenvironment predominantly using immune cells. And the way that we're doing that in a very new and novel way is by using nanomaterials that we have engineered so that we can specifically target the immune system so that we can harness the power of these immune cells so that they can clear the tumor cells effectively. And in a recent study that we recently published, we were able to do that effectively, but also to prevent recurrence of these tumors from growing. And we are currently conducting studies to see whether we can prevent metastasizing or spreading of these tumors to distant sites. So as a proof of concept study, we utilized HER2 overexpressed in breast cancer cells as a model to target using our nanomaterial compound. And a lot of people ask me, as a neurosurgeon, why were you using breast cancer cells? Well, the most common deadly brain tumors that we see are brain metastases. And so we're actually looking initially at ways to prevent metastases from the body to the brain, because once the cancer cells have penetrated through the blood-brain barrier, the mortality of our patients are quite high and survival is quite short. And so our first sort of use of our multivalent nanomaterial compound will be in breast cancer models. And in fact, our next grant with the Department of Defense will be utilizing our next generation material to actually target and harness the immune system against breast cancer cells. And hopefully within the next 5 years, we'll be able to bring this technology into the clinic. So nanomaterial that we design is like a ball, and on the surface of the ball it has two arms. One arm can actually seek out cancer cells, and as a proof of concept it actually seeks out the HER2 receptors on cancer cells. It's a targeting moiety. And on the other end we actually have a molecule that seeks out macrophages. And by bringing the two together, it's almost like an arranged marriage of cancer cells and macrophages. It allows the macrophages to engage with the cancer cells and eat it up. And it's really interesting in that process in itself creates a secondary process in which T cells come in. These are the specialized, the Navy SEALs that come in and effectively destroys the cancer cells. And a proportion of these T cells then turn into memory cells so that it actually circulates in your body and remembers for years to come that your body actually had this disease and need to kill it effectively. And so it seems to prevent recurrence of tumors, but also it prevents metastasizing of tumors to different body sites. And so this is something that's really exciting that we're working on. And because it is nanomaterials, we can design it quite easily, and we can change out the cancer targeting moiety against different cancer types. One of the key sort of areas that we, as well as many others that are interested in, is to really enhance your immune system. Our immune system is designed to clear up diseased sites. And what happens in a cancer or tumor model is that your immune system actually goes right up to the cancer site, and then it loses that ability to clear and defend the host from this disease. And to be able to modulate the tumor microenvironment so that your immune cells are now able to be honed so that they can actually work more effectively, I think is sort of the next phase of treatment and immunotherapy. Unfortunately, a lot of immunotherapies currently is designed to target one subset of the immune system, which is the adaptive immune system. And I believe that our model is really novel and exciting in a sense that it actually engages the entire spectrum of the immune system, including the adaptive and the innate. And so what that means is that your body now can effectively go in and fight off this disease, whether it be cancer cells or other human diseases, more effectively, because you're harnessing the entire immune system effectively. What's really incredible is that we have patients with the same cancer type, and yet depending on their age, depending on their molecular genetic profile, these patients survive at different lengths. And we believe that part of that is because of the immune system. Whether it's weakened or not, it really changes the survival of our patients. And so we're just hoping that by boosting one's own immune system, we can effectively eradicate cancer cells. I think that, at least within my lifetime, I hope that we can turn cancer into a disease form that becomes more chronic in nature. The revolutionary sort of medical changes that we've seen in certain chronic diseases, such as HIV therapy, diabetes, hypertension, these are diseases that in the years past were deadly. And now we've turned them into more of a chronic condition. And I hope that with the cancer therapy, that we can turn these deadly diseases more into a chronic condition. So for example, in the future, if a patient has the diagnosis of cancer, well, we know how to treat it, but we'll be able to provide different cocktails to modulate that tumor environment such that we can turn this deadly diseased form into a more chronic condition, much like how we treat diabetes and hypertension these days. I think to make tremendous discoveries that are going to be making leaps and bounds and changes in the way we treat cancer patients. All of this requires support, both in grant support, funding from generous benefactors, but also from the institution. And I think a place like Mayo Clinic is just amazing because it is able to provide funding and support, and especially time also for somebody like me to try and think outside the box, essentially, and to try and help our patients that we serve on a daily basis.